Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca. Let's talk about makeup. So I'm here to do a quick update for you on my 50 Shades of Brown project pan. This is a Pantastic Ladies collab project that was created by Jessica, Amanda, and CeCe. This is a year-long project pan that runs from April 15th of 2024 to April 15th of 2025. So we have 2 months left in this project. If I am not mistaken, there is currently a poll up in the Pantastic Ladies Facebook group deciding on our next color. So if you want to participate in that decision, I will leave a link to the Pantastic Ladies Facebook group below, along with links to all of our lovely creators. So sorry for my voice. It's a little scratchy. I have been really sick. I'm immunosuppressed right now, and so flu season has been rough. But let's get into it. Let's see what progress I have been able to make. So last month I actually did go through all 50 of the products that I have rolled into this project, including the ones that I have completed. But today we're just going to be looking at the ones that I've gotten a little bit of progress on since we last discussed them. I have one rollout, which, to be honest, this late in the project is pretty measly, but I'm still very proud of it. This is my Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation Stick. When I rolled it in, we didn't have a whole lot of product left to go through it, but it had kind of been lingering in my collection for longer than it should have. And so I really needed some extra encouragement to really get this done. So we have used her down to the plastic. If this product was a little less old and maybe a little bit more of a favorite, I may go ahead and dig down in there and get the rest of that product. But as it is, I really had to force myself to finish this. I don't want to trash this product because I do think it's a really, really good product. The reason why I feel like I had to force myself to use it, other than the fact that it's really only usable for me in the very depths of winter when my skin is at its driest, because of how emollient it is. The shade wasn't right. You can tell. Do you see how light that is? So I ended up pretty much using this as kind of a highlighting step. So when using my Salt New York Sneaky Balm, I would use that around the perimeter of my face, and then I would use this kind of in the center of the face, just sort of as a highlighting step. I did use it all over the face a few times, and with some bronzing, I was able to make it work. But the process of using it was fussy enough. I really did have to force myself to use it. So when this first came into the project, it was weighing in at 25.79 grams. We managed to get it done after 15 uses, and the final weight on this one is 25 grams even. Again, I definitely could get more product out of this tube if I wanted to, but I don't. So we're calling this one done. Next, I have great news. I was finally able to find my Sephora Colorful Shadow and Liner Stick. I actually can't remember what had happened to it. It had fallen like into a crack between two other things, I think. That's the reason why I couldn't find it. But this is in the shade Cafe au Lait. I have been using this as an eye primer since the beginning of last year. This is where we're at. I'm actually going to see if I can go ahead and get a progress picture for you, because I think that'll be pretty satisfying. When it first came to the project, it was weighing in at, let's see, 8.81 grams. The last time I had this to show you and to weigh for you, because I talked about it last month, but I didn't have it in my hands to weigh it or to show you my progress. So back in September, it was weighing in at 7.01 grams. I have used it 25 times since then for a total of, let's see, oh, I haven't done the math, for a total of 63 uses in this project. I'm not sure exactly where the product stops on this stick. I'm not confident that this is going to be something that's going to be rolling out before the end of the project, but I am quite pleased with the amount of progress I've been able to get over the course of this project. So even if this isn't a complete empty by the time this project rolls up, I'm still really, really pleased with how far I've gotten on this one. Next, I finally gotten some uses on my NYX retractable aligner. This is in the shade Brown, and this is how much product we have got left. We didn't have a ton to begin with, I've got to be honest, and this is actually broken off. I'm being real risky here because this is broken off on the tube and I've had to fish it out of the cap a couple of times. I'm going to try to be really careful with it in the hopes that I can actually use the remainder of the product. As of January, I had used this 10 times in the project and it was sitting at 4.36 grams. I've used it an additional 5 times since last month's update, and it is now sitting at 4.32 grams. As with the colorful shadow and liner, I think I do have a starting photo of this one, and I'll see if I can show you some visible progress. I have also been working on my Holika Holika Honey Blueberry Sleeping Pack. This has really come in handy over these last couple of months, in particular when my skin has been super dry. This smells so nice. It has a very heavy glass bottle, so I didn't actually weigh this at the beginning of the project. I think it's now down to the point where I probably could get a weight on it, but we don't have a starting weight, so I don't know if there's much of a point. So we're pretty much just tracking it by usage. As of my January update, I had used this 18 times in this project, and I have used it an additional 9 times since then. This is definitely a product I can only use in the wintertime, and honestly, most of my use was absolutely going to happen in the December, January, February months, simply because that is definitely when my skin is the driest. So I have gotten quite a lot of use out of this over this last month. We'll see how far I can get before the weather starts to warm up and this really just becomes a little too much for my skin. Over this last month, I managed to get 3 more uses on my ABH contour stick in the shade Mink. I really enjoy this contour. I would have gotten a little bit more use on it, but I have been focusing on trying to get some uses in on my Salt New York products. And I have been using another product. Last month, I picked up the Flower Beauty scribble stick in the shade Caramel. It is definitely not a contour. It's kind of a pinky brown. It's more of a bronzer type situation, but I have found that I haven't really necessarily wanted to reach for a contour. So this one has only gotten 3 uses since our last update. It was sitting at 33.73 grams in January, and after that 3 uses, we're now at 33.70 grams. So I used 0.03 grams of product. This is not a product that I expect to be able to finish by the end of this project, but I'm not terribly broken up about it because I really do like this product, and I really won't be sad to have it around a little bit longer. Next, I have a couple of skincare products. I have my Dear My Dew Tranexamic Acid Serum. This is a new bottle. So I have actually already completed a bottle of this in this project, and then I rolled the replacement into this project as well. So I had 0 uses in this project on this bottle when I rolled it in. I don't know why, but I didn't mark the bottle when I rolled it in. So last month when I rolled this in, it was sitting at 59.37 grams. I have used it a total of 7 times since then, and it is now sitting at 52.92 grams. So we're making some pretty steady progress. I do think this is a product I am going to be able to finish by the time this project wraps up. Then I've got my L-ascorbic acid powder from The Ordinary. I like to use the 2 of these together. That is a good combo for me, and I have used this 7 times in the last month as well. Last month, this was sitting at 101.80 grams, and after that 7 uses, it is now sitting at 101.19 grams. I am not as confident about being able to complete this jar as I am the Tranexamic Acid Serum, but we'll see how far I'm able to get. Then I rolled 2 little minis of the Huda liquid eyeshadows into this project, and this is the only one I've gotten any progress on. This is the shadow in Cinnamon Toast. I have used this as an eye base. I used this as an eye base today. I also used it on my cheeks because it does have a really nice red undertone that makes it suitable for that. However, I do want to point out that if you try that out, you absolutely have to blend immediately, and you definitely need to do 1 cheek at a time because this stuff sets down quite quickly and then it doesn't budge all day. It is extremely long wearing, but you have to work fast to get a good blend in. So in January, this one was weighing in at 11.72 grams. I have used it 8 times since then, and it is now sitting at 11.59 grams. Now, I actually ended up having to rehydrate this with a little bit of Inglot Duraliner. It's starting to get a little bit dry, a little bit crusty as we get toward the end of this product. And so there hasn't been as big a drop in the weight as you might expect for that number of uses. But yeah, we're making pretty good progress on this one. I'm actually really pleased how it turned out as a blush. But yeah, I'm actually pretty confident about this one. I do think this is something that I should be able to get done by the end of the project. This is a lip liner that I rolled in, I can't remember when I rolled it in, August or September. I rolled this little lip liner in sometime last year and then immediately lost it, and it was gone for 8 months. 8 months before I finally dug it out of a handbag in the back of my closet. This is the ColourPop lip liner in the shade BFF3. As of January, I had 0 uses on this lip liner, and I have managed to use it. Let's see, I have managed to use it 8 times since my update last month. So when she rolled into the project, she was at 5.13 grams, and now she is at 4.69 grams. Had I not lost her for so long, this would have been an easy product to finish in this project, but as it is, I really don't think. I think this comes down to about here. That's a lot of product to use in 2 months, so I don't have a lot of confidence we'll be able to do that, but I am pleased I am getting at least some use on this in this project. Next, I have my Salt New York products, which I have here in this palette with a couple of other things. These are the 3 products that I have rolled in. So this is my Sneaky Balm in N10. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out for you. As you can see, I have carved out a couple of the corners of the product, and I think this is something we can absolutely get done by the end of this project. Last month, I told you I wasn't quite sure what my goals were for this. I know that this one was rolled into complete, but this contour here in the shade Taupe and this highlighter in the shade Beige were each rolled in for 30 uses a piece. So last month, the Sneaky Balm was sitting at 4.98 grams. I have used it 5 times since then, and it is now at 4.51 grams. Then the contour, which I have rolled in for 30 uses. As of last month, I had used it 10 of 30 times, and it was sitting at 6.30 grams. I have used it an additional 4 times since then, and is now sitting at 6.16 grams. Then the highlighter is a little funny because I use so little product. I mean, you can see a little dip. I have a little dip going on in this one, finally. But I use so little product every time I use this that even though I have used it 4 times in the last month, there has been no change in weight. So as of last month, I had used it 17 times in this project. When it first rolled in, it was sitting at 9.38 grams. After 17 uses, last month it was at 9 grams even. I have used it an additional 4 times, and it is still at 9 grams. So I use so little product here. It really is such a beautiful highlighter though. It just is the most creamy, delicious glass skin. I really can't see any sparkle on the skin when I use this. It just looks glassy and delicious. Beautiful, beautiful highlighter. And I do think that I should be able to meet all of my goals on all of the Salt New York products by the end of the project. All right, last product that I have to share with you is my Kiko Milano bronzer in the shade 06. And this is what she looks like. This is a really nice bronzer for me in the wintertime. It is a nice neutral shade with a slight hint of rosiness. You know how much I love that. It's very flattering on my winter skin tone. I rolled this in January. It was sitting at 59.32 grams. I have used it 11 times in the last month, and it is now sitting at 58.94 grams. Because this was such a late roll-in for me in this project, my goal was to use it 30 times, and so far we've got 1/3 of that down. If I can keep up that same amount of progress over the next 2 months, I should be able to have that goal met by the time the project is finished. So those are all the products that I've gotten some progress on. We had 1 rollout that I'm very pleased with. As of completing the Bobbi Brown stick, that brings me to 18 products that I have completed in this project. I think the only one of that 18 that wasn't a finished product was my Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer in the shade Seychelles. That was in for 30 uses. I used it 30 times, didn't love it, and then decluttered it. But all the rest of those products were actually completed within this project. So, I mean, 18 out of 50. We're not done yet. I think there are a few more that I may be able to reach my goal on, but 18 out of 50 is not the most amazing ratio. It's definitely not what I had in mind when I first started this project. But you know, life be lifing, and we kind of have to just roll with it and adapt, and we can't always anticipate our circumstances. So while I would have preferred that this number be higher at this point in the project, that is still 18 products that have left my collection that may not otherwise have done so. So we're gonna look on the bright side on that one. I definitely do want to participate in the next round of this project. I'm super curious to see what the results of the poll in the Pantastic Ladies Facebook group. So just as a reminder, if you would like to participate in the decision of what color we will be doing next, I will leave that link to the Pantastic Ladies Facebook group in the description box below. Thank you so much much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.